Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at a fascinating intersection of ancient tradition and modern scientific validation. We're going to explore how biblical resins, specifically frankincense and myrrh, are being used right now as a scientifically backed, natural escape from the chemical burden of the modern pharmaceutical industry. Based on our source material, we're going to unpack the chemical properties, the clinical data, and exactly how you can practically apply these powerful plant-based therapeutics. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll cover the biblical roots of healing oils, escaping the chemical burden, the science of ancient resins, reversing EMF-induced inflammation, expert endorsements and testimonials, and finally, a daily healing oil tutorial.
Section 1. Biblical Roots of Healing Oils, Ancient Wisdom. Now, you probably recognize frankincense and myrrh from biblical texts, like the Gospel of Matthew, right? They were presented as gifts to the infant Jesus. But here's the thing, these weren't just symbolic offerings. In the ancient world, frankincense and myrrh were literally considered as valuable as gold. They were revered not only for spiritual worship and anointing, but primarily for their incredible, tangible medicinal properties.
We're talking about a track record spanning over 4,000 years across multiple civilizations, from ancient Egyptian embalming practices all the way to traditional Chinese and Indian Ayurvedic medicine. These specific resins have served as a principal medicine. Historically, they've been the go-to for fighting inflammation, treating wounds, and promoting holistic wellness long before the advent of modern synthetic drugs.
Section 2. Escaping the chemical burden, nature versus pharma. So the source material draws a really sharp contrast here. On one side, standard over-the-counter and pharmaceutical products. These often contain petrochemicals, fake dyes, and synthetic preservatives that just add to our body's toxic burden. And the literature suggests relying on these products enriches massive corporations while keeping us stuck in a cycle of high recurring costs. On the flip side, you have products like Curate Bible Healing Oils. These utilize 100% natural ingredients, like a pure olive oil base infused with these ancient resins. Advocates argue this approach dramatically reduces our chemical burden and successfully redirects those profits back into local economies and the natural health community. It's a total paradigm shift.
And let's talk about the financial impact of making this switch, because it's significant. According to the sources, by replacing ineffective and sometimes harmful pharmaceutical therapies or over-the-counter products with natural healing oils, families report saving hundreds and in some cases tens of thousands of dollars every single year.
Section 3. The Science of Ancient Resins, Clinical Validation.
But this isn't just ancient folklore. Rigorous peer-reviewed studies across leading scientific journals have actually isolated the specific mechanisms at play here. For instance, research published in the Journal of Oleoscience shows that specific terpenoid constituents in frankincense and myrrh actively inhibit nitric oxide production in macrophages. Basically, that's a key driver of inflammation. Furthermore, Molecules magazine highlights that when frankincense and myrrh are combined, they undergo chemical changes that actually increase the potency of those anti-inflammatory terpenes. It creates this incredible synergistic effect.
This combination essentially creates a super anti-inflammatory by actively suppressing the body's MAPK signaling pathways. Think of these pathways like your body's internal fire alarm system. These bioactive components effectively muffle that alarm, specifically downregulating elements like ERK and JNK. The result? A major reduction in the inflammatory cytokines that cause swelling and pain.
Section 4. Reversing EMF-induced inflammation, live blood analysis.
Now, we are constantly surrounded by electromagnetic frequencies, or EMFs. It's just a reality of modern life. According to the research highlighted in our sources, EMF exposure can induce severe inflammation. This leads to oxidative damage and structural degradation of your blood cells, which shows up as microclotting and cellular stress. To test the efficacy of these ancient resins against this very modern problem, Dr. Wendy Roscoe, a PhD in physiology, conducted a specific live blood analysis study. The crucial point here is the result of Dr. Roscoe's test. She used a maximum-strength frankincense and myrrh infusion called the Oil of Elijah. The live blood analysis captured on video was absolutely staggering. Day 1 showed damaged blood, with cells sticking together and obvious microclotting. But incredibly, just 30 minutes after applying the healing oil, those damaged, clotted blood cells were completely restored. They returned to their proper shape and a healthy charge. The oxidative stress was visually, demonstrably mitigated.
Section 5. Expert Endorsements and Testimonials. Frontline Validation.
Because of undeniable clinical results like these, the sources present a robust list of experts who are aggressively adopting these products. You have leaders in alternative medicine and immunology, folks like Dr. Brian Ardis and Dr. Judy Mikovits, who use them for immune boosting and fighting cold symptoms. Dr. Henry Ely and Dr. Edward Group also recommend them to their students and patients. These frontline medical professionals trust these natural combinations as a primary therapeutic, aiming to eliminate the need for a lot of prescription drugs.
And perhaps one of the most striking testimonials comes from Dr. Carrie Madej, an internal medicine specialist. According to the source materials, Dr. Madej actually utilized the maximum strength Curate RX-8 anointing oil to help manage her own pain and achieve what's described as a miraculous physical recovery after she survived a horrific plane crash and the emergency surgeries that followed. Just incredible stuff.
And it's not just doctors, right? Everyday users are reporting the exact same phenomenon. Reviewers like Susan Sellier report successfully treating severe oven burns and completely alleviating arthritic pains. Other users report applying the oils to shrink dog skin tags, fade dark spots, and manage rheumatoid arthritis. People are utilizing natural plant medicine to effectively treat a massive spectrum of daily ailments.
Section 6. Daily Healing Oil Tutorial, Practical Application.
So how do you actually integrate this into your routine? It's incredibly simple, and it relies on the fact that your skin is your body's largest organ. The tutorial outlined in the sources suggests just applying a few drops directly to the skin over the area of concern. The skin acts as this perfect delivery system, allowing the anti-inflammatory terpenoids and micronutrients to absorb rapidly and enter the bloodstream directly. And wherever the blood goes, the nutrients go. This makes it super effective for daily immune support, anxiety relief, or fast joint pain management.
This brings us to a fundamental philosophy highlighted in the text, the golden rule of natural health. If you can't put it in your mouth, don't put it on your skin. The oils we've discussed today strictly adhere to this rule. They use a pure, consumable olive oil base infused with sacred natural resins. That means you completely avoid the preservatives and petrochemicals that are so standard in the pharmacy aisles.
Which leaves us with this final thought. The data and history presented in our sources today pose a really compelling argument. By returning to the ancient, scientifically validated wisdom of frankincense and myrrh, advocates believe we can heal our bodies, support our local economies, and leave that modern pharmaceutical chemical burden behind for good. It begs the question, is it time to start questioning what we put on and in our bodies? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.